What's up, guys? Rant Roller back at y'all with another video. This video, man, is about the disrespect of Scottie Pippen in the mainstream media and the disrespect of Scottie Pippen, former small forward, six-time NBA champion from the Chicago Bulls, and Michael Jordan's sidekick, and a lot of people disrespectfully call him his Robin. And if you read a lot of the comic books, it depends on how Robin was portrayed. In certain comic books, Robin was weak. And in certain comic books, Robin was fierce, right? I would go with the fierce version of that Robin for Scottie Pippen. But I wouldn't even go that far. I would say Jordan is Superman, Scottie Pippen is Batman or Daredevil or some other high-ranking Iron Man, some other high-ranking technical superhero, because Scottie Pippen technically was probably the most fundamental player ever. And you say, what do you mean ever? Offense to defense, jump shot, post game, left hand, right hand, 3-point range, 70% free throw shooter. I mean, across the board, there was nothing. If you wanted to coach a kid on basketball, there'll be nobody better than Scottie Pippen to learn from. No matter what position you wanted to play, he could teach you how to play. Okay, and I want to start with this clip from Isaiah Thomas here, who he started a lot of this open disrespect of Scottie Pippen because he's still bitter, and I love Isaiah Thomas. If you hear this, man, I love you. I grew up watching you, the Bad Boy Pistons. Definitely identify with that team. Rooted for you guys against Portland that in that Trailblazer series. Of course, I didn't root for you guys against my Laker team, but I respected you guys, and I respected you. I have you ranked, Isaiah Thomas, as the second greatest point guard of all time. Although, you keep talking crazy, and I just might have to elevate Steph Curry next to you, or somebody else of that stature. All right, because Steph actually has one more ring than Isaiah Thomas. But I'm not going to go that far. All right, Isaiah Thomas was a better defender and a better leader than Steph Curry. But let's just go into this disrespect by Isaiah Thomas.
Speaking of the 1990s, what did you say about Dream Team? That was so. It was wrong that Shaq and I wasn't on a Dream Team. It was just wrong.
And I still think Dream Team 2 could beat Dream Team 1. And I don't care who likes it.
You're dead wrong. See, a lot of times Shaq think because he's big and he can intimidate a lot of people that he could just say certain blasphemous things out of his mouth. There's no way in the world Dream Team 2 beats Dream Team 1. Dream Team 1, even without you, Shaq, and even without Elijah Wan, because let's keep it real, Elijah Wan should have actually been on the Dream Team, but he just wasn't a U.S. citizen at the time. All right? Without even Elijah Wan, without you, sir, the original Dream Team of 1992 is still the greatest basketball team assembled ever, of all time.
Who would be your team of the 90s if you had to limit it to five, and now it's your five best, or it's five by position?
And be careful how you answer that number 5 spot.
I mean, that's a no-brainer with my center is. That's a no-brainer.
Just checking.
Power forward,
Put these hands on you.
Karl Malone.
See, there we go again. He trying to threaten his ex-teammate, and I know that's his friend Dennis Scott, but here we go again. Listen, I even have Shaq in my all-time starting 5 at center, right? Even though Elijah Wan was more skilled, so was Kareem, all right? Bill Russell was a better defender, and Wilt Chamberlain was more durable. But Shaq in his prime, when they really should have rattled off 4 straight championships, if they just didn't, I don't know what happened in that Detroit series. There's no way Ben Wallace should have been able to hold Shaq down. For whatever reason, the Gary Payton and Karl Malone infusion into that team did not pan out. For whatever reason. But on paper, there was no way that Detroit should have won that series, and definitely not as easily as they won that series.
What?
Intentional. Well, if I can say this, Isaiah, he intentionally opened up an old wound.
Sound like Little John over there.
My good, hey, you've got him in stitches with that comment. Watch it.
Like I said, Isaiah was tough, man. You know, next to Allen Iverson, there was nobody tougher at that size than Isaiah Thomas. And I'm not even going to say that AI was tougher than Isaiah. Okay, AI, as great as he was, he dragged his team to the finals only once. Okay, and Isaiah Thomas took that Detroit Pistons team to 3 finals. 3 straight finals.
With the stitches, they go together.
Oh, I remember.
Two guard, obviously.
Stop snitching.
Two guard, obviously. I'm leaving it at that.
In the 90s, I would
No,
take
I would.
over
In the
Dominique.
90s, I would go, and I know.
Dominique was on the Achilles.
I have Scottie Pippen.
Scottie was
I
in
have-
the 90s. And I know that
I was waiting for it.
I had a great.
Let's
I got more
acknowledge.
touches.
Let's acknowledge on the real who this guy really is sitting here, because when Jordan was retired and Grant Hill was coming into the league, we were talking about passing the mantle
To Grant.
Yes, you was a. So it ain't like you won. Scottie Pippen couldn't carry the league. Jordan carried the league. We're talking about a guy like yourself carrying the league. So you can't sit there and be like, oh, well, you know, Scottie.
You know what? I'll let Trump.
First of all, carrying the league and being the face of the league doesn't always mean you're the best player. Okay, Tom Brady's the face of the NFL right now. Not only is he not the best player, but he's not even the best quarterback. Not right now. Okay, that would be either Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers. Okay, and even if you want to go as far as Russell Wilson from the Seahawks. But anyway, we're not talking about NFL. This is where the disrespect of Scottie Pippen. Listen, as great as Grant Hill was, okay, Grant Hill didn't have the durability of Scottie. Okay, you got to be in it to win it, baby. Soon as he signed the contract with the Orlando Magic, he was no longer Grant Hill anymore. Okay, and that was only about 7 years in, bro. So to automatically say, oh, Grant Hill was going to come in and carry the league, no, not necessarily. Penny Hardaway was around. Shaquille O'Neal was there. Okay, so to just say that they was going to, Vince Carter also was coming around. Well, maybe he wasn't quite there yet. But, you know, it wasn't about Grant Hill automatically giving him the mantle. Okay, because he hadn't proven anything, especially in the playoffs.
If he was the worst player,
It's like
you know what? Damn it, it's me. What?
forward.
Does Scottie Pippen have pictures of you or something? What's the deal with Scottie?
Wait a minute, ho.
Something's going on.
I'm messing with you.
Did Michael, did he want him on the team?
Well, I can't speak for Michael, but no, I did not want him on the team.
I don't mind Michael Jordan saying I didn't want Isaiah to be on the dream team. I don't mind, you know, if Larry Bird said I don't want Isaiah to be on the dream team.
But
if Scottie Pippen say I don't want Isaiah to be on the dream team,
That's the problem.
man, come on.
Okay, see, this is why I have to stop you, Isaiah. Everyone wants to talk about Mike is the greatest because he has 6 rings. He's 6-0 in the finals with 6 rings. Correct? Well, guess who else is 6-0 in the finals with 6 rings? Guess who the only other person that's 6-0 in the finals with 6 rings? Yes, that would be Scottie Pippen. Okay, Isaiah, as much as I love you, Much as I love you, it pains me to say this. But Isaiah Thomas, you have 2 championship rings, sir. 2. Scottie has 6. Okay? He has triple the amount of rings you have. So for you to sit up there and totally disrespect Scottie like he was a bona fide role player, like he was the 8th or 9th man off the bench, give me a break, Isaiah. And this is where I'm going to take it away from here. We're at the 10-minute mark already. I want to show you guys some footage of Scottie in his prime. Okay? And you tell me from the footage. Okay? You tell me from the footage here how good he was. Okay, just watch some of the highlights of the man's game. This was the year Jordan retired, okay? Shout out to Maximilian. 3-point range, okay? Dunking on anybody. Anybody he would dunk on. Centers, guards. Scottie somehow got this soft reputation because he had a migraine in the Detroit Pistons series early on before him and Michael broke through. But people can develop and evolve. And Scottie Pippen certainly developed toughness through those growing pains against Detroit and against Boston. Scottie was the best perimeter defender in his time. Yes, even better than Dennis Rodman. Because Scottie would actually get turnovers, blocks, and steals. Scottie's main issue, before I continue these highlights, is that Scottie was not a megalomaniac. If Scottie Pippen put himself before anybody else, we would be talking about a guy that would be averaging closer to 27, 28 points a game, still playing hellacious defense, and a guy that would have separated himself from Michael Jordan probably after that first or second championship and went off on his own and been his own man, kind of like Kobe, what happened with Kobe Bryant in L.A.
Those long arms, and he needs a couple of plays like that to get himself going. He's been out.
The difference between Scottie and Kobe Bryant is not skill level. Scottie Pippen was just as athletic and just as skilled, or more so, than Kobe Bryant, and a better defender. But Kobe loved himself more. That's just the bottom line. Kobe thought more of himself than Scottie thought of himself. So therefore, Scottie wasn't willing to play Kobe wasn't willing to play second fiddle, second banana, Robin to anybody's Batman. Okay? But the greatness of Scottie Pippen, which is also the greatness of Dwayne Wade, is that they were willing to put their game to the side, level their game down in order for the betterment of the team and winning a championship. Magic Johnson was also that way. So was Larry Bird.
Out sync all afternoon.
3-6 as we come up on 5 minutes to go in the third. Pippen able to beat Mason off the rim. More comfortable now. Mason is defending on Pippen.
Pippen, all type of post moves.
Succeeded. What a move.
The better the New York defense gets.
Pippen able to spin into some.
Grant, it's Scottie Pippen.
There was nothing Scottie couldn't do on the ball court, left hand or right hand. And so graceful. If you built a basketball player and you wanted to build a perfect body for a basketball player, you would start with someone like Scottie Pippen. 6'7", 7-foot wingspan, 40-inch vertical, large hands, incredible basketball IQ.
Nice pass, Grant. For Meyer.
Mid-range. I want you guys, I know this is grainy footage, okay, but this is how we used to look at basketball back in the day, before all these HD cameras and televisions. But appreciate the artistry of Scottie. The year after Michael Jordan retired and 30 points walked out the door with him, Scottie Pippen led that Bulls team to, I believe, like 55 wins that year. And he was the All-Star, he was the All-Star Game MVP and was clearly the best player in the league. Some would say Olajuwon, but from the moment Magic Johnson and Bird took over the NBA, a center was no longer the best player in basketball because they don't handle the ball. And it's still that way today. And I don't see it changing for any foreseeable future unless you get a 7-footer that has Durant and Antetokounmpo ball handling skills. Scottie could do it all. Okay? Isaiah Thomas was very disrespectful. And then Grant Hill tried to climb in with some low-key disrespect. Grant Hill, sir, you didn't accomplish nearly anything what Scottie Pippen accomplished in his career. You shouldn't have been sitting up there on that couch snickering. You should have been paying homage to Scottie Pippen. You wish you could have been there next to Michael, winning those 6 championships. And Michael Jordan said himself, you cannot speak Michael Jordan without speaking Scottie Pippen. But Scottie was never a look at me guy. Hey, look at me. Look how great I am. Look at me. Look at me.
Scottie Pippen makes no mistake.
He was more of a Joe Dumars personality. Joe Dumars was almost equally as great as Isaiah Thomas. A lot of people don't realize that. But Joe Dumars was so low-key. No flash. Scottie would be just as great in the league today. Even more so, because the league plays absolutely no defense today. So I could see Scottie easily averaging 25 points a game in today's NBA. Now, Skip Bayless likes to disrespect Scottie Pippen and say, oh, Michael led him around and taught him everything and did Yeah, he learned a lot from Michael, but Michael also learned from Scottie. John Sally, former power forward for the Detroit Pistons and Chicago Bulls, said that Scottie Pippen was the most skilled player he ever played with. Because Scottie could do it all at an extremely high level. Along with Larry Bird and LeBron James, Scottie Pippen is in that list for greatest point forwards of all time, and he's also on the list for greatest small forwards of all time. He's in my top 5. You guys may say, oh, that's blasphemy. You got Dr. J, Dominique Wilkins, Larry Bird, LeBron, Kevin Durant. How could Scottie Pippen be in there? Well, if you want to give Michael Jordan so much credit for his 6 rings and his 6-0 in the finals, you have to give Scottie Pippen equal credit for that. So he slips into my top 5, somewhere behind Larry Bird and LeBron James. The ultimate team player. He watched everybody give Michael Jordan all the credit and all the adulation, statues, but clearly Michael wouldn't have won 6 rings without Scottie.
Pippen the rebound, Bulls on the run. 3 on 1-2 for Scottie to
There's a lot of people on the planet walking around like that. You might be the backbone of your office or your construction site, and you're not going to get the credit. The manager's going to get the credit. Somebody else going to get the credit. That's just the way life is sometimes. But you might get the credit in the next life. Don't worry. But yeah, guys, you can look at Scottie Pippen highlights for yourself, man. This is running a little long now, but I'm passionate about this. I've always felt like he was underrated, unsung, disrespected. Scottie Pippen, man. You guys let me know in the comments, man, where you think he ranks among small forwards, and also who you think is the best small forward of all time. Thank you, guys. See you next time.